Welcome to the second volume of the Master's Program in the Combat Hapkido Self-Defense System. This videotape will contain the minimum requirements of techniques for your third-degree black belt. So stay with us and learn. We're going to get right back into the categories of defenses against punches. The reason why we have so many defenses against punches throughout our programs is because it's one of the most common means of attack, one of the most common ways that people will start a fight or try to hurt you and to attack you. So we have many, many techniques. And not all of them may be suitable to you. You got to pick and choose the ones that work best for you in a real street situation. However, to earn your belts in our system, you need to learn them all. And then it's up to you which one you're going to choose in a real situation. Okay, this one, as he throws the punch, we're going to do it slowly first. I'm going to deflect it and immediately start a circular motion of his arm. Let him expend that energy and drive the energy in a circular motion so it dissipates. So as he throws the punch, one, I'm going to then go out, under, and after I'm out and under, I'm going to put pressure here. I'm going to bring him here to me and go into a choke. Now, let me show it to you one time a little more dynamically, okay? And this time I'll take him all the way down. I'll still got to slow it down because these techniques are fairly dangerous. So as he throws the punch, I'm going to go this way. And immediately you run into a choke situation here. Invariably, when you do this fast and you're going into a choke, you're going to strike him. So you're going to hit him in some parts of his neck, either the tracheal part or over here. And that is dangerous. So you got to be very careful in class when you practice these techniques. Again, slowly this time. One, as you bring him out in circular energy, you go under. Then you direct his arm behind him. If he tends to go forward with his head, you can grab the hair or this part here. As you bring him close to you, you snake your arm around him. Now understand also that his arm is still locked here. You're still putting pressure upwards. You see, it hurts. So now you put him against your body. So his arm is trapped there. Come up here and apply the choke. And take him down if you want to. Or you can choke him standing up if you want to. Okay? And that's your first technique. In this next technique, I'm going to apply a couple of key strikes. We go back to some of the nice strikes we learned before. So, he throws his punch, you're prepared, good position. You deflect with the same side hand. You just protect yourself and deflect. From here, double strike. You come under 1 and 2. As you strike him the second time, move up with the back leg inside of his foot, here. One way of doing it is by stepping right on his foot. That's a way to do it. The other way is to step inside of his foot this way and then apply the leg lock that is going to take him down. Actually, it's more of a foot trap. Of course, if you do your strike here, step on him, you will damage his foot. Now from here, there is a final part to this technique. After you've done your strikes, bang, bang here, you step back and you push him, double hand, palm strike to his back, and you push. Now understand what happens when he goes down if my foot is on top of his foot. You understand what happens there to his ankle. Okay, let's show it from the other side. Now watch again here. Same side, 1, 2. Okay? Then from here, step. This time I'm going to do it with a foot trap. Okay? I'm going to go right inside of him. Step behind him. And it still has the same effect. But maybe a little less dangerous. It probably won't break his ankle. It will damage it. Because when you stand in the trap here, okay? Let me show you this detail. It's very important. You're using your leg here to push down, see? But the foot accommodates itself by sliding out. So it still go down, but you will not damage his ankle. When you step in top of his foot here, and you throw him forward, that's the damage there. Let's look at the technique one more time. Completely. It comes in, 1, 2, stepping in or stepping over, and from here, pushing forward. Okay, in this one, again, we're going to use a key strike. This time only one, but absolutely devastating in very close range. This time we're going to react from a, let's say, a hook punch, or a punch that, although it may be even a straight punch, but you are more in the inside line here, and you cannot quite deflect on the outside like we prefer to do most of the time. So this time you're in inside line. What I want you to do is this. Deflect with the cross hand first. So as you're keeping your hands, as the punch comes, go here. Remember, you're still protected here from the other side. So don't feel like because you're crossing yourself, you're leaving yourself open. Both hands are up here. So one, then you're using this one just to check him for a second. And you'll see why in a second. So as you're deflecting, 1, 2, and then from here, you strike. Your strike is going to be this way. Unfortunately, we cannot do it for real. 1, 2, Pedro will freeze now, and watch what your strike will be. This way. Now only, going to do it, of course, forcefully, and what he'll do, he'll take his head, you're going to catch him right here, going to flip his head around, very damaging. So when he throws the punch, here, a little slower this time, 1, 2, see, I got still my hand protecting me here in case he fires there, and then go straight out this way. Notice when I deliver the key strike, how my body moves into it. It's not just simply going like this and pushing. Your whole body is involved in the strike. Okay? Maybe you want to see it one time from this side. Okay, again, slowly, 1, 2, and then coming around this way. In this technique, we're going to do another key strike, but this time it's not going to be delivered with the hand. We're going to use the whole arm here, especially the forearm. Okay, right here, this bony structure here, the radial bone is going to be into play. Your hand is going to be live like this. So as he throws the punch, you're going to deflect it and come around and hit the center mass of his body at full power. Again, it's hard to do it here, slow motion, to really give you an effect of what it would do to a person. But trust me, as you come in, you strike real hard, right across the center mass here. You'll do damage. So as he comes in, 1, 2, and then what you do from here, just spin around into him a little bit and drop an elbow strike to the back of his back. Okay, so from here, like that. Now again, I cannot stress enough how dangerous it can be in practice when you're coming here if you do not use control. This is the spine of the person, extremely dedicated. You have gravity going for you, you got lots of energy and power, you strike, can be serious damage to his back. Okay, maybe one time from this side. As he throws the punch, I come in this way. Okay, slowly now. 1, 2. And then from here, I turn, drop. And that should be enough to take care of it. In the next one, we're going to go right into a choke. We've seen a couple of them in the previous program for black belt, but now you should be able to do these chokes and this insertion into your opponent a lot better and a lot smoother. So from here, you're ready for his attack, he throws his punch. You come in here, deflection, at the same time, moving out of the way. Coming in this way. But now again, not just putting your hand there, strike as you move in. Hit him, right here, nice brachial stun. Boom. What happens then from here, you accommodate yourself, get closer to him, keep your head out of the way that he tries to headbutt you or something here. And from here, you have your choke. Now, one thing you can do here, once you have this choke, is to actually flip it this way. We're going to have Matze here. We're not going to do that, but you can, although it's a little bit flashy and not necessarily important for you to do that. Once you have him here in the choke, simply go down on your knees if you want to take him down. And you have your choke. You maintain your choke. Okay? Also, something you can do once you hit the ground, grab his arm here, and you have him locked this way. He's choking himself. It's not fun, is it? Okay, let's go to this side. So, he comes in with his punch. Deflection coming in. Strike. Push here. Accommodate your head so there is no chance of elbow or headbutt or anything in case something goes wrong. Accommodate. Right here. Pick yourself up here. Okay? Start to choke. Take him down. You have your choke. Keep your head close to his. Okay? Now, if you want to, sneak the hand out, come out, and you have your choke. The next technique will remind you of a technique we've done previously, but it's just actually the opposite of what we did before, but same principle applied. If you remember, we did a technique this way, hitting from the top like this, and then bringing him down with the lock. Now this one, I'm going to do it different. Same principle, but different. 1, 2, you're going to go under with your strike, not over, under. You're going to strike him here, okay? Elbow strike while you have his hand secure here. So the first movement will be 1, 2. Then from here, bring your arm up and come out this way. As you come in this way, of course, you want to spin around so you can take him down. Because if you just stand here, nothing is going to happen. So from here, he'll go down. And then you have your lock. This is a different, over here. This is a different kind of lock. It's very nice because you have his elbow here. See, you put in this kind of pressure here. This is very nice. A little more advanced, but very nice. Sorry. Okay, let's look at it one time from this side. The first part is important, of course, because you're going to come in, strike. 1. You're hitting as you're going up, okay? And then you're coming across this way. Turn. And guess what happens here? The pain is already here. But now that's only half. What you want to do is take him down. Another way of doing this will be this. As you're coming around, reach out here. And then turn him out the opposite way. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a variation. What you want to do here, but in case you get in trouble, you make a mistake, you can go the other direction. Here, come up here, lock him, step behind, take him down, and watch the nice lock that you have here. Because not only you're locking the wrist, but you put in pressure here on his arm, going forward this way. Sorry. At this point, we're going to introduce a new category. We call it against-the-wall techniques. It's a little bit unusual, but it belongs in the advanced group of techniques. The reason is you may find yourself in a situation where you are in that position and you need to know how to defend yourself. Let me demonstrate here. What happens is this. Somehow you find yourself in this position. I don't know how you wind up here, but you are in this position, and now you need to deal with the situation. You cannot just ignore it. So we have devised a group of techniques that will help you when you are in this position. The only good thing about this position, however, is that your back is covered. Nobody can attack you from behind. So you're fairly safe from any attack from behind. And you can actually brace yourself against the wall to give you additional energy and root yourself. So there are some advantages. You've got to make the most of the environment. Okay? Now, it's better not to be in this situation, of course, because over there you have room to maneuver forward, backward, sideways. You can kick better. You can do a lot of things better. In this case, you're very limited to what you can do. But yet, there are many things that you can do to save yourself. Now, it doesn't have to be a grab like this. It can be a choke. It really doesn't make any difference for what you're going to do next. So we may start with a grab this way. So he's grabbing you, pushing you, smashing you against the wall. From here, first thing you do, make a fist here. Deliver a vertical fist to his center body. Okay? Try to strive for the plexus, but even if you get a little bit lower, a little bit higher in the sternum, it's no big deal. A nice punch like this. One hand. The other hand is already up. Prepare just in case he lets go and he tries to hurt you. So the other hand is here. Then bring both hands in top of his arms here and attack the pressure point over here in the forearm, right here. Okay? You have one on each side. You attack this pressure point. And what you do, keep trying to hold on still, Pedro. What you do, squeeze not only the pressure point with your thumb, but bring his arm together. Okay? Bring his elbows together this way. Now what you do, you slide out. Since you have control of his elbow, he will follow you. You slide out against the wall, push him against the wall. As soon as he hits the wall, release this hand and take his head and smash it against the wall. Okay? His head will be here, let's say. Now what you do is bang. Okay? Now, after having done that, bring the other hand, punch into the groin, and then with this one here, get him off you. Remember, these are all strikes. When I say punch into the groin, I mean punch into the groin. When I said palm heel to the face, it's palm heel to the face. We show them to you slowly and safely. Okay, let's review it one more time. You are in this situation. Okay, first thing you do, you got to soften him up. Of course, you could use a face technique like this, bam, and then go over. Or you can use a punch here, going under his defenses. So you can go over his defenses or under his defenses. Then come back with both hands, put pressure here, and put his elbows together. One, slide yourself, maintain yourself against the wall, but slide out. As you're sliding out, smash him in, reach out right away. See, if he tries to do something with his hand, you are trapping his arm here. So this one, bam, right into the wall. While you're doing that, with the other hand, hit the groin, and then here, your palm heel strike forward to his face. And that should take care of it. In this next against the wall technique, he's choking me now. He's pushing me like that. Obviously, you know, you may want to think of doing this with your knees, but it's not working. It's not stupid. He's bracing himself. He's keeping his groin far away from you. It's not easy. It's pushing you here. So, again, you have two hands free, and you make the most use of it. Of course, you can go for the face, and then go for the technique, or you can come from underneath into the body. There are merits to both ways of doing it. Sometimes it's better to go over his defenses, okay, coming for the face. Sometimes it's better to come in from under. Depends on his height and many other factors. In this case, what we're going to do, I brace myself against the wall, and I deliver double punch, double vertical punch into his pectoral muscles. Bam! He's still hanging on to me. He absorbs the punch, especially if he's a strong guy, he can take it, but it softens him up a little bit. So what I do from here, I bring my hands back, secure one, and go for the other one, and grab one of his fingers. Remember, maybe you can see better from this side, so I'll secure this one. I'll come around here, peel off one of his fingers, like this. Since he's holding me, it's easy to just reach and peel off a finger. If he was making fist, of course it's impossible, but since he's holding me this way, he's trying to choke me, it's easy for me to peel off one of his fingers. So this one I trap, because while I'm doing this, I don't want him to realize what's going on and start doing that. So this one I trap, this one I reach, I peel off a finger, like this. And then I start turning. Now remember, don't move away from your body. He will go away with the pain. You want to keep it against your body. But now I want to go across his body and mine in that direction. Watch why. I want to turn him around and place him into a choke. I let the finger go, and now I brace myself against the wall, and I have a choke. Take a breather, second. You okay? All right. Now watch. Again, you're here, putting pressure on you, right? Bam, to soften him up. Trap. Reach behind here. Peel off a finger. Any finger will do. Okay? Start twisting into your body. very painful. I gotta be very careful here with Pedro. Okay? As I pull into me, I also want to go across his body because I want to turn him around. So I go here, he's offering me this, I come, I let the finger go, and I place him into a sleeper hold. And that's your second technique against the wall. This time, as you can see, he has me in a one-hand choke, which is not the most efficient in the world, of course. But remember, he's got the wall as a brace, so in this case, a one-hand choke, it's not as stupid as when they have you this way in one-hand choke, you can simply pull away. When you are against the wall, of course, he's putting pressure and he's cutting off my breathing. So he's ready, of course, to punch me or to do something else. My hands have to come out right away for protection. Okay, especially this one, because he's going to intercept anything coming there. But also because this is the hand I'm going to strike with and free myself. What do you want to do? You want to put the pressure against the thumb this way. You say, well, why not do it this way? Because if I do it this way, he digs in his finger in my neck. But if I go this way, I'm freeing myself, I'm breaking away through the thumb. Much easier. Okay, so lower your center of gravity, okay, brace yourself against the wall, using the bone here, the ulnar here, strike his forearm as close to the wrist as possible. Bang! Now remember, when he puts pressure on you, his momentum is forward, he's leaning into you, he's shifting his weight into you to keep you against the wall. So as soon as you do this, he goes forward, okay? So from here, as you're coming up, one, okay, this is the position he's going to wind up, forward. Then you use the other hand now, come around with a round elbow strike, and you get rid of him. So just for muscle memory, what you want to do is this. 1, 2, okay? First strike, one, gets rid of him. This on his chamber, bam, immediately. Remember, his head is coming forward, so you catch him right in there. One more time with Pedro. Okay, he has me, he's got his weight forward. I take advantage of that, strike, and then come back around here, bam. Of course, I can finish up with something else if I need to. The next category is defenses against kicks. Again, we did some more in the previous program, the black belt program. Now we're going to do some more techniques. Now understand, we intentionally decided to do this whole series of videotapes without mats to give you, number one, a much more realistic feeling and to spend more time on the details and on the flashy throwing and break falling and stuff like that, which is really at this level is not very important for you. What you need to learn is the technique, not worry about falling down and making it look so flashy and beautiful. So I'm going to move very slowly here and carefully with Pedro, obviously, because, like I said, there are no mats. In this technique here, as he throws, the most attack in the street is a front kick. Everybody knows how to throw a front kick. It doesn't have to be a good martial arts kick. It can be any type of front kick. What you want to do always have your hands up, of course, for protection. As the kick comes, you move to the side and you catch the kick. You want to catch it from under with your cross hand. This will be the cross hand, of course. This is the same side. This time I'm using the cross hand and catching, scooping the kick from under. So as he throws the kick, I move in here. Now what I do, as soon as I catch his leg, I hit his face. But I don't just hit him and take my hand back. I hit and I twist his head this way, maintaining the pressure with my hand on his face. And then I take him down by stepping back. Once he hits the ground, okay, I place my knee there, cutting off the flow of blood to his brain, then come over here, lock myself up this way, and put it into a lock. Another way to do it would be to bend his knee this way and maintain position this way. Very painful. Okay, so there is different ways to lock up the legs on the ground. And Pedro is the expert at that and will show you many different ways when he does his ground grappling series. But you need to know at this level some of them to complement the technique itself. So from here, he throws the kick, coming in, strike, maintain position on his face, twist his head, take him down. Then from here, 1, 2. Now let me show you the beginning of the technique from the other side. A little different angle and perspective. As he comes in, set here, bam. Now watch the hand here. Keep it on the face and twist the face out. Now you spin, take him down, sit on him, and here. You get your ankle lock, very painful. Okay, the next defense against kicks is going to be toward the roundhouse kick. It's directed to a roundhouse kick. Now, of course, we're going to show it to you both sides because you get in different angle and perspective depending on the leg used. So in this case here, he throws the roundhouse kick. I got to prepare my hands this way. If I had room to simply move away from the kick, it's always the best philosophy. Get away from a kick. Don't try to fight it, to absorb it, or whatever. But sometimes you can. There is obstruction here. There is people or some reason that you can't get away. So you got to be ready there and absorb the kick by putting both of your hands here, like this. So as he throws the roundhouse, you catch it this way. Now what you do here, you lift your elbow up, getting ready to strike the side of his knee. But that's not enough by itself. All you want to do is strike down and strike up with your own knee. So his own knee is squeezed between your knee and your downward elbow strike. Bam! This way. You can imagine what kind of damage that can do. But that's only part of the technique. So 1, 2, and without even putting the foot down, as you do this, kick the inside of the knee of the supporting leg. I cannot stress enough how dangerous this is when you practice. Because when a person has all his weight on one leg and you start kicking the inside of his knee, the knee can snap extremely easily. So please be careful again. So we're here, 1, 2, 3. Now notice another thing. Start from this side. Throw the kick. Right. When I kick the supporting leg, the final element of this technique, I let him go. I don't hold on to him. You can imagine again what could happen if I kept on holding on and I kicked the supporting leg. Disaster. So 1, 2. Okay, supporting leg. Keep your leg up. Second. You want to strike it with the side kick like this, right at the knee. Now, if you catch the inside of the thigh, it's good too. Oh, sorry. So you want to go here, here. So this is your memory for this. 1, catching the kick, because it's coming in, catching the kick. 2, and 3 into the leg. So again. Okay, coming here. Again. You go under right away, or you absorb and then you go under. Same way. This one up, strike both at the same time, and then kick the leg, supporting leg. Please be careful with this technique. The next one also is very nasty. Again, when you start dealing with joints, especially the knee joint, that does not have the flexibility of other joints of your body, you've got to be extremely careful with here again. So he throws a front kick at me. I come here. Now as I catch him, I also go here with my other hand. And remember, this happens in a fraction of a second, very fast. So he has no time to really do anything with that. What I do, I make the knee bend, and I start turning my shoulder into his face. Now when I do that, the knee will bend. In other words, his leg will go like this, basically. So your knee will bend and he will fall down. As he hits the ground, okay, I want to turn him around so you can see. As he hits the ground, you want to keep the pressure here. You drop with your knee either on his bicep or right here, this muscle here, okay? And you continue putting the pressure. Now, the way to really snap it here, turn your shoulder looking that way. You want to keep the face away from you. You want to give additional punishment. Just turn your shoulder. Watch what happens. Okay, even without the hand on the face, so you can see a little bit better here. Watch, when I turn, Very painful because he snaps everything. Put pressure, lean into him, and turn the shoulder. Extremely painful. Okay? Okay, from this side, just how you get into it. You here, step out here, reach here, twist. Okay? As he hits the ground, okay, you keep the knee bent, drop on him here, start turning your shoulder. As I said, you can attack the face or you can leave the face alone. Watch, turn your shoulder into him. In the next one, we're going to do another defense against a roundhouse kick. I'm going to show both angles so you can see different perspective here. He throws the roundhouse kick. Again, you're always protecting yourself. This time you catch him with the same side arm there. And what you do, you do like an arm bar. Look, this is very similar to this. You're locking up the knee in much the same way. And you spin backwards this way. So here, you take him to the ground. Okay, once he's in the ground, what you do, he hits the ground. So you have a couple of seconds. He's worried about hitting his head on the ground. He just went down. So you have a couple of seconds. What you want to do from here is to switch to this position here. Then, make sure you maintain here to bend his knee. You roll over like this. And now you have your ankle lock. Very painful. Okay, we're going to show you from this side too. Okay, let's see what happens here. Again, throws the kick from here. Now I'm going to step forward and backward at the same time. In other words, I'm going to do 1, 2. Okay, so from here, 1. He hits the ground. I immediately shift like this. Keep his knee bent, roll him over like this. And now I have my ankle lock. Now I can actually sit on him to relax and keep the ankle lock going. Okay? Or I can maintain a kind of horse riding stance, whichever is, more comfortable for you. So, one more time. You're catching, put pressure here, step in and out. He hits the ground. We're being very careful again here. Now watch this part here, which is important. From here, you come around this way. Now, you could actually maintain a lock this way. This is a lock in itself. Very good one. But this time, I want you to learn how to do this. Turn him over. Stepping over, and then from here, maintain ankle lock. Okay? The next category is lapel grabs with one hand. So this is this type of attack from someone. Again, in a situation like this, it's always best to do a distraction first because the grab itself could be a grab and a strike almost simultaneously. So you don't have a lot of time to concentrate here while he's still got his hand free. So you need to stop him in his tracks right away. He grabs you, so bam, like this, slap to the face, or a kick immediately to stop what's happening here. Let's concentrate on the technique here. What you're going to do is with the same side hand, you're going to trap him to yourself. With the other hand, using the palm, you're going to put pressure. Since it's an upright grab this time, there's also such a thing as an inverted grab. Much, much less practical and not very common, but there is. In this case, being upright like this, you secure it toward yourself, and with the palm of your hand, you put pressure into the thumb. What you do into him and down at the same time. 1, 2. And it's a painful thumb lock. Then, of course, you can remove. From here, you can maintain the thumb lock, or you can switch him into some other type of technique, arm bar, and whatever else you want. We need to really pay attention to this part here. Okay, so you've already done your distraction. This is what you want here. Secure him to you. Because as soon as he perceives what you're trying to do here, his tendency is going to be to let go and pull his arm out. So this is to secure him, bring here, push into the thumb, but not just push out this way, into him and down. Okay? And here you can maintain, if you want to, your thumb lock, or like I said before, switch to something else. In the next one, going to get into a couple of pressure points here. As soon as he grabs you, regardless if you have already secured his hand to basically to trap him there or not, go for the kick immediately to stop that. So from here, 1, and come here. Now, as you know, there is a pressure point here that we're going to attack in this case. Then what you're going to do with the other hand, as you're applying pressure here, if he's wearing any type of shirt, collar, jacket, whatever, grab it into your hand. And then using the thumb, go into the pressure point here. At the same time, step behind him and take him down. So here, he hits the ground, maintain the pressure there. I think you'll see better from this angle, the takedown part. Okay, we're here, 1. Reach out here, push the thumb down, take him down. Even without the sweep, you can take him down easily. Now, what happens here, we need to pay attention, move back a little bit here, to the detail. This is what you have here. The pressure with your thumb holding on to his collar. This is what you're doing, putting pressure. You needed to see the detail so you understand what's happening out here. So one more time, he grabs you. 1, reach here, step behind, down, keep the pressure going into the collarbone there. Of course, once you're here, if you don't want to stay here for any length of time, you can switch and attack the face. You can let that go, and again, go for a joint lock or something else. In this technique, again, he has you in one hand lapel grab. What you want to do here, again, is a distraction, any distraction, with the hand, with the foot, to stop again from here. Because now you're going to go around here. Okay? So you need to, if there is an obstruction here, the technique is not going to work. So you got to give him something to think about. Even if you come under his guard, like this, for instance, 1. So now opens him up for what you're going to do next. Okay? So regardless of what you use, you need to remove, stop the attack and remove this obstruction from here. So 1, pressure point here, the same as before. Now your hand comes around. I'm showing this very slowly. Hands comes around. Heads continue into the lock here. You're going to put him basically in a headlock here. Now what you do at this point, if you want to, you can either take him down or you can do a little bit of a sacrifice throw, kicking your leg out and going down with it. We're going to do it that way first, but very gently, because as I said, we got no mass here. So from here, 1, and you're into your choke here. You're already there. Okay? If you don't want to go down all the way and do that type of throw for yourself, okay, so here, 1, coming around here, and then simply turn around and drop him to the ground. And you have him here. Third way, of course, is to maintain him here into the choke. Just maintain him here until he passes out or he stops or he drops. So you have 3 ways to go here. 1 is maintaining him here. 1 is to drop him to the ground. 1 is to go down this way to the ground with him while you're maintaining the choke. So it's 3 ways to finish the same technique. But you got to get the first part right. So we're going to review this a second here. If you do this, what happens? You can't go around his neck. So whatever strike you do, it has to go a strike to bring his head down. 1 or 2, 3. The type of thing that's going to bring his body toward you this way. At the same time, you're pulling into you with this, and this one now comes in. You can do it at full speed, bam, and take him down. The next one is an extremely dynamic type of technique, and also, of course, very effective and dangerous, therefore. Again, I'd like to remind you, no mats, so we're not going to go full speed and full power, obviously. This time, instead of bothering with any type of distraction and everything, you're going to react immediately and mix everything together. The distraction, the strike, the takedown are all happening at the same time. Because this is your memory, first of all. the muscle memory. You got to learn the movement. As you're being grabbed, this is what you're going to do. This is your only movement that you need. Again, we can't do it at full speed, so that's why I'm showing you this way. What happens here is you're going to strike him at the same time as you're rotating, locking the hand that is holding you here, continue spinning, and he'll flip over and fall down. Now we're doing together. This is how it's going to look when you do it slowly. Coming around here, striking. Keep on going. Turn around, pedal a little bit so they can see what's happening. As soon as I pass the strike, I'm going to continue here, locking, and I'm going to continue rotating. Therefore, he'll hit the ground. Once he hits the ground, you remove, and then you decide what you want to do. In this case, you may want to roll him over on his tummy and lock him this way, or any other type of lock on the ground. So remember, one fluid motion, you're being held. It's one fluid motion coming around, down. You're being held on this side, coming around, down. The strike, the distraction, and the takedown is all one movement. You're up here, one. Continue locking, continue spinning. He follows you down. Then from here, of course, you could drop the knee, or you can do different things. Be very careful practicing this technique with your partner. A new category now. Sometimes when a person grabs your lapel, it doesn't necessarily grab the same side lapel, or even maybe two lapels this way. Because of the position of your body when in relationship to his, when he reaches, he may actually grab, we call this a cross lapel grab, because he's going across here. So it's not on the same side, it's not in the center, it's going to the cross here. So what we do in this case, we have nice techniques for this, is immediately again stop him from doing whatever he's doing. So from here, coming this way is the trap at the same time as you're doing your distraction. Okay? So he grabs, he comes in, oh, excuse me, he drops, one. Then come around this way, after you strike, come around this way, step in, and bring him down. Now, like in all garment grabs, do not try, okay, after you do your technique here, to remove his hand from your garment. First of all, if he's strong and his fingers are all entangled with your garment, it's going to be almost impossible. Second of all, that's not what you want, because you cannot then apply a good technique at this distance. You want him close to you. So either this way or this way, you secure him to yourself. Keep him close to your body. Don't try to remove the hand from the garment. So after you do your distraction, okay, whatever it is, come back here, the hand this way, rotate him, get your elbow up, step, lock. You got a double joint lock here. You're locking his elbow, and you're putting pressure on his wrist here. So this is your technique. One more time. No, over here. Okay. Watch the technique here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is your lock. Now, some people say, can he grab your leg now trying to take you down? Sure he can. He can attempt to. However, remember, you got this lock here. Okay, very painful. You can, put a lot more pressure. And if you realize that that's happening, just simply move the leg back and proceed to take him down further. Okay, you're not going to stand in that position for 10 minutes. So, yes, you can step in front. Don't worry about too much. If he tries to grab your leg, of course, you can just get your leg out of the way. Maintain the trap here. In the next one, we have a couple of strikes here too. It's a cross lapel grab with one hand. You secure him as you striking. 1. Again, you can strike up here. Whatever is good for you. In this one, the face will be okay. Or again, even a kick. What you want to do then, after doing the first strike, regardless of what you use, okay, and you maintaining the trap here so it doesn't get away from you, you bring your arm outside of his arm, and you strike the back of his elbow at full power. Bam! that will hyperextend his elbow and do damage. So 1, then retrieve your hand and go back as before to this type of lock. Let me show it to you from the other side. Now it's grabbing here. 1, 2, or 1, 2. This arm here now, watch. Come in, hit the elbow. Sorry. Hit the elbow pretty hard, okay? Then from here, you just recover your hand on this side, come around, and bring it down as before. You got to understand that if you do the first part right, okay, and I don't mean the destruction, I mean this part here, his elbow is already damaged and weakened, maybe even dislocated at that point. That after you do this, and you do this one here, this part of the technique, it's going to be not only very easy for you to apply, but extremely painful for him because you already damaged his elbow. And again, in training, be careful when you do the strike. Okay, so again, 1, 2. Your strike is this way, coming from the bottom, hitting this way, and a little bit this way, like this. This is what your strike is. So you're coming up this way. Go, so one more time. 1, 2, switch down. The next one should be very familiar to you because the joint lock itself, we've done it many times before. It's just how we get into it this time that changes. And this time, you do want to remove his hand from the garment grab. Okay? You accomplish that by a strike, coming here, striking hard, and then peeling him off. Because you control his wrist here. So as soon as you strike, bam, peel him off. Then don't waste any motion. Remain where you are. You don't have to move. You don't have to go anywhere. Bring the hand here that you have just, remember, removed here. Bring the hand here right on the top of his knuckles and push down. Now, if you want to do something a little more fancy and flashy, you step back and do that. In the street, this is just as good, just going straight down here. And when he hits the ground, again, you have many different alternatives. We have done this one before. You can roll him over on his tummy, okay? Once you're here, you can switch to something like this. There are many different alternatives. So very simple technique. Here, 1, peel him off, straight down, hurt him. Doesn't take much when you have control of the wrist. Doesn't take much to create pain. If you're here, controlling this way, especially if you have a base on the ground. So once it's removed, 1, drop him down, and you have your energy here, okay? And as I said, if you want to do something else. The next category, we're going to get into 2 hands grabbing 2 shoulders from the front. So somebody coming up to you this way, either locking up real tight or just simply placing the hands like this on the shoulder. This could be a prelude to headbutting, knee, or pushing, or pulling. So you don't want to be in that position. You perceive that as an attack, regardless if it's, you know, with a lot of energy, or if it's just simply something like this to hold you by the shoulder. You got to perceive that as an attack right away because you don't know what's following that. Okay, so he comes here and he grabs my shoulders. First thing I do, again, it's a distraction to soften him up and take his mind away from this. So I can hit him here. As I'm doing that, okay, I want to go over here and around his waist with the other hand. So 1 over, 1 around. If I turn Pedro around, you can see exactly what's happening from this perspective. Just watch my hands now. 1 over, 1 around here, the kidney base, over here. Okay? Having seen that, let's show you the whole thing. It comes in, 1. Come over, go around his waist to the other. This one you lock it to you. You already got a nice locky here. Now you sweep him and take him to the ground. One, and when he hits the ground, what do you have? Your old arm bar. And you can proceed in many different directions. You've seen this before. We don't need to spend a lot of time into that. Now it's more of a how to enter into these techniques that you should already know. Most of them, most of the locks, most of the bars, you should already know this. So it's just how to enter it from all the different angles of attack. So again, he grabs me, boom, double shot here if I want to. Okay, so it can be one hand, two hands. One, I go over. Now, if his face, after I hit him, come forward a lot, as I come out here, watch, I got a second strike there. So I lock this, I go with the other hand here, step for my sweep, take down armbar, naturally. Here we go. On the next one, it's going to grab my shoulders again. This time I'm going to do a couple of different things. Instead of doing a distraction as a separate strike, I'm going to do the breakaway from one of his arms as my distraction. I'll secure here so he doesn't get away. I want to maintain the grip on one of his hands, but I want this one away from me. So what I do, as soon as I come up here, come up with my hand and strike down. Okay? What happens is, as you're coming around, you're using your elbow, and you going down, follow through, it frees you up. As soon as he's saying, wow, you soften him up some more, because he can't recover now and maybe come back with a punch. Just because I took his hand off my shoulder, that doesn't mean he's done. So it's still very dangerous. So I do one, and then two, or maybe one, two, into the face. Then from here, what I want to do, I want to go under and across. Come around this way, bring him here. Now I have this lock, that you've seen before, but I want to finish with a choke this time. I could escort him this way or take him to the ground, but I want to finish with a choke. So I reach out for his hair, if he has any, bring him back to me, then I sneak this in and get back to the familiar choke that you've seen before. Okay, from this side, different perspective. He grabs me, 1, 2, 3, any type of strike. Then from here, going to the pressure point, turn him out this way, step under, put pressure. Now he tries to go forward with the pain, so you reach out, you bring him back to you. Lock him up here, and go for your choke.